will be interesting to see whether that changes in the weeks ahead.
Mexican filmmaker Guillermo del Toro took home Oscars for Best Director and Best Film for his romantic fantasy, The Shape of Water.
I think that every time we can demonstrate in any forum, be it sports, science, arts, culture, anywhere, what we have to bring to the world discourse, to the world conversation is extremely important. And it's extremely important when we do it to remember where we're from, because it's honoring your roots, honoring your country.
For the first time in anyone's memory, nearly all 170 state legislative races in North Carolina will feature both a Republican and a Democratic candidate, in some cases a Libertarian. State Democratic Party Chairman Wayne Goodwin.
Everybody that we could call on, we did, because we believe every district, every voter deserves a choice.
Police suspect alcohol may have played a role in a crash that left a man dead last night in northwest Charlotte. The driver was identified as Calvin Smart III. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities will review 16 cases handled by a North Carolina prosecutor who left office after pleading guilty to charges involving a deal with another district attorney and their wives. The interim district attorney for Rockingham County, Tom Keith, has ordered a review of 16 cases that involve former district attorney Craig Blitzer. You're listening to NCN News.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
I'm Patrick Johnson with this week's Undaunted ECU Spotlight, and it shines on baseball player Spencer Brickhouse from Bunn High School. The sophomore electrical engineering major was named to 3 freshman All-American teams last year after batting .301 with 10 home runs. Starting off 2018 with a bang, Brickhouse hit 2 homers in the opening weekend and left the yard at the DBAP versus UNC. ECU celebrates Spencer Brickhouse of Zebulon and all of our Undaunted student athletes. For the latest on ECU athletics, visit ECUPirates.com.
The chancellor of ECU says the school's success is tied to the success of rural eastern North Carolina. Cecil Staten says they are looking to expand how they serve that area of the state through its multiple ways, including by training doctors at their medical school.
We want to grow our enrollment at Brody. We want to double or actually grow by 50% from 80 to 120 students per year. We want to build a new medical education facility to train those doctors for the 21st century.
President Trump welcomes Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House later today.
I'm Robert Berger in Jerusalem. Netanyahu says Iran will top the agenda at the White House talks. The Prime Minister says Iran is setting up bases in Syria that could threaten Israel, and he wants U.S. backing for any Israeli military action to prevent that. Netanyahu is also expected to invite President Trump to the opening of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem in May.
A delegation of South Korean officials in Pyeongchang are scheduled to meet with North Korea's leader. Ben Tracy has that.
You have seen this outreach from North Korea to South Korea. Very kind words about President Moon and a lot of the statements that are coming out of North Korea, which is a complete 180 from where we were a year ago. But you haven't seen North Korea really dial down the rhetoric in terms of the United States or President Trump. So you see engagement on the peninsula itself, but a lot of people believe this is an effort to kind of sideline the United States and put the United States in a weak position.
A North Carolina man originally charged more than a year ago with sex crimes against a 4-year-old now faces 37 charges related to crimes against children. Pender County authorities say 70-year-old Haywood Elwood Garner Jr. of Hampstead was arrested over the weekend and charged with a sex crime against a child. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. And the winner is the Oscars. It was a big night for a fishtail, billboards, and Churchill at the 90th Academy Awards ceremony. ABC's Jason Nathanson has more from backstage.
And the Oscar goes to...
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway on stage presented Best Picture after last year's envelope mix-up, giving it to The Shape of Water, director Guillermo del Toro's fish-out-of-water love story.
Growing up in Mexico, I thought this could never happen. It happens.
He also won Best Director. The Shape of Water had the most wins overall with 4. Dunkirk had the second most wins with 3. 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri's Frances McDormand won Best Actress. Darkest Hours' Gary Oldman, Best Actor.
ABC's Jason Nathanson. The weekend's deadly storm being blamed for at least 9 deaths on the East Coast. Crews now racing to restore power to nearly 500,000 customers still without electricity this morning. That includes Baltimore resident Avery Callen.
Waking up, being cold. If you're going to shower, get the shower in the dark and with no hot water.
As cleanup continues, another powerful storm taking shape. It's expected to arrive on the East Coast by Wednesday. President Trump welcoming Israel's leader Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House today for meetings. ABC's Karen Travers has details on the day ahead for the Israeli Prime Minister and the President.
Both President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have political scandals hanging over them, both under investigation and fighting back. The President has the dark cloud of the Russia probe looming large. The Prime Minister is being investigated for bribery and corruption, accused of accepting lavish gifts from businessmen in exchange for political favors. Netanyahu has denied any wrongdoing. The visit to the White House could give Netanyahu a temporary boost, a chance to turn the spotlight away from his political problems and highlight his strong personal relationship with President Trump, who's very popular in Israel.
You're listening to ABC News.
People make your business work, but how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/newsradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/newsradio.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
In Pennsylvania, Bill Cosby and his team of attorneys will be back in court today ahead of his sexual assault retrial. ABC's Todd Ant has more.
Bill Cosby's retooled defense team, led by former Michael Jackson lawyer Tom Mesereau, will battle with prosecutors over potential witnesses at a pretrial hearing. Cosby is trying to stop some of his dozens of accusers from testifying at his April 2nd sexual assault retrial. There is a chance prosecutors could call as many as 19 women to the witness stand, including model Janice Dickinson, in an attempt to show that an alleged 2004 assault that led to Cosby's only criminal charges was actually part of a 5-decade pattern of drugging and harming women. Jury selection slated for March 29th. Todd Ant, ABC News.
Now that the tax reforms are in place, you should be seeing a change in your paycheck, but Daria Albinger tells us of a possible reason why you may not.
Not seeing a difference in your paycheck after the tax reform law?
Every quarter of workers are aware of an increase in their paycheck and attributed that increase to the change in the federal tax bill.
Bankrate's Taylor Tepper.
The difference is going to be about $1,600 for median income earners, so it may be too small a change for people to see.
But not seeing it is still a problem.
Credit card debt is rising, savings rates are going down, and if you aren't noticing this change in your paycheck, you're not going to be doing the things that you need to do to ensure your financial security.
So take a closer look. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in taxes? The government now has tax debt relief programs in place, and you have rights. Call tax representation today. Has the IRS threatened to freeze your bank accounts, take your home, your cars, and garnish your wage? We are the industry experts with negotiating with the IRS, and one of the very few that has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. We'll contact the IRS the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call 800-295-1046. That's 800-295-1046.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
With springtime almost here, head on over to Oakland Feed and Seed for the things you need. Things like grass seed and garden seed, 10-10-10 fertilizer and 17-17-17 fertilizer. Oakland Feed and Seed carries Kentucky 31 and Rebel Turf and 5-star blend grass seed. That'll look good. They will weigh up garden seed by the ounce or by the pound. How much do you need? They'll weigh up grass seed by the pound. Whatever you need, Go see Scott and his team at Oakland Feed and Seed, and they'll do their best to do what they can for you. Need strong weed killer? Get it by the quart, gallon, and Kidsol, Killsol is 2.5 gallons is only $49.99. Get rid of them quick. You get Fish Mox 100 count, $19.99. Why don't you come check Oakland Feed and Seed out and check their prices? All your animal health needs from dog shots to wormers, and don't forget to pick up some fire ant control. They have what you need at Oakland Feed and Seed today. Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and locally run.
We've got a sunny and cold morning on tap across the area. After that, we'll turn mostly sunny to in spots partly cloudy midday into the afternoon. There may be some patches of high cirrus clouds around then. We'll look for high temperatures around 54 to 60. Tonight we start out fair in the evening, then partly to mostly cloudy later. Lows in the low 30s to around 40. Mostly cloudy and cooler Tuesday. Some patchy sprinkles and areas of light rain. Highs low 40s north to low 50s south. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
We're just under the freezer locker mode at 31 right now, getting up to 60 for a daytime high in partly cloudy skies. Tonight we have more chances of rain, 50% chance tonight, and tomorrow 60% chance. Now the rest of the week looks good, mostly sunny on Thursday and Friday, and Saturday we may get some more rain, and the highs are going to be around 58. The lows Friday night 34, and 20% chance of precipitation. And why they have this word snow in here, I don't know. Partly cloudy with a chance of rain and snow, it says on this printed forecast, but I just don't believe it. Chance of precip's only 40% and the temperature 58 degrees. Now, if it snows at 58, boy, is that going to go down in history. 31 right now here at WCAB. We're being kind to Jimmy and Tammy Ellenberg. They're the owners of Ellenberg's Garage up in Union Mills. And they have an anniversary today, so happy anniversary to Jimmy and Tammy Ellenberg. Now I have these death announcements. Ava Connor, age 80 of Rutherfordton, died Friday, March 2nd at Mission Hospital. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Janie Walker Higgins, 93 of Bostic, died Saturday at Fairhaven of Bostic. The funeral service will be held 4 p.m. today in the First Baptist Church of Bostic. Burial will follow in the Bostic Cemetery. The family will receive friends from 2:30 until 3:45 at the church today. The Paget and King Mortuary is serving the family of Janie Walker Higgins. Catherine Gibbon Tanner died at Elizabeth House in Flat Rock on March 1st. A memorial service will be held at St. Francis Episcopal Church, 408 North Main Street, Rutherfordton, Tuesday, March 6th at 2 o'clock. The family will visit with guests immediately following the service at the church. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is assisting the family of Catherine Gibbon Tanner. Vernon Hoyle, Jr. of Forest City, died Friday, March 2nd at Hospice of the Carolinas Foothills. Those arrangements are still pending and will be announced by the Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory. Again, that's Vernon Hoyle of Forest City. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard today at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report right here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Many people, they tell us, have already come to sign the register books that will be sent to the Billy Graham Library. Today is the last chance locally to have this opportunity. You can go by McMahon's, Paget and King, or Washburn and Dorsey between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. today to sign the register book for Dr. Billy Graham. And then tomorrow, the completed register book will be sent to the library there in Charlotte. So if you've not had a chance to sign and want to, today is the last time you'll have an opportunity to do that at those three funeral homes, according to the information I have here. So go and do that if you like. It'll be shipped out tomorrow to go to the library there in Charlotte. Well, Kevin Harvick won the big race on Sunday, and Kyle Larson won the one on Saturday, and Duke beat Carolina 74-64.
There's a lawsuit in California San Mateo County Superior Court. It alleges that YouTube has set minority hiring quotas. The suit's filed by somebody named Arn Wilberg, a YouTube recruiter who also worked for YouTube's parent company, Google. Now, Wilberg claims that last spring, YouTube recruiters were instructed to only interview female, black, or Hispanic applicants. The suit also says the company told recruiters to purge the applications of anybody not fitting those categories. Wilberg, a white male, says he complained, and when he was ignored, he went to Google management. And shortly after that, they fired him. Google says this is rubbish, that they don't use identity to hire, just merit. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, 69% of Google's employees are men. White and Asian guys account for 91% of the Google staff, and the tech industry has had a big push to diversify. The Journal also reports that people familiar with Google and YouTube hiring practices corroborate some of the lawsuit's allegations, including the hiring freeze on white and Asian guys and YouTube's use of racial quotas. The Journal says the lawsuit threatens to ignite simmering controversy about Silicon Valley's politics and whether its predominantly liberal ideology is affecting how companies operate. What, that's controversial? Is there anybody anywhere who thinks liberal ideology has not infected and corrupted Silicon Valley? Today's technology makes things easier because everything's connected. Your cell phone, your tablet, even your smart TV, all connected to one account, and they're all connected to your Wi-Fi. It only takes just one weak link for a cyber thug criminal to break in and obtain your data. And that's why the new LifeLock Identity Theft Protection now adds the power of Norton Security to your devices. Now, while LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect threats to your identity, the addition of Norton Security helps protect up to 5 of your devices from online threats. And if there's a problem, LifeLock's agents will work to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But new LifeLock with Norton gives you more protection for today's connected world. Join now, get 10% off your first year. Go online to LifeLock.com and enter the promo code RUSH. That's LifeLock.com. Remember, promo code RUSH.
WCAB has been serving the community with family-friendly radio programming for 50 years. Thank you, Rutherford County, for making WCAB your radio station of choice. Turn it up. WCAB 590 Rutherfordton.
Every morning I open the door. Hello, stock. Hello, store. Building my business, building my dream. I'm glad to have radio on my team. It reaches my customers, and new ones too, and tells them about what we offer and do. I'm watching my budget. I have to spend smart. For me, radio is a good place to start. Radio works harder. Put it to work for you at radioheardhere.com.
Brought to you by this radio station to remind you that radio is heard here. Radio is heard everywhere.
Let the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business. It works. Call Tracy or Jim at 287-3356.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
What was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing. Well, it's the time to put the leftover warmovers aside and head towards something fresh for lunch today. That'd be Gregory's. One of the best places to eat in Rutherford County has got to be Gregory's Original. Folks bragging on it all the time. Folks come back again and again. You can enjoy fresh and delicious burgers, subs, grinders, pastas, garden salad, thick steaks prepared to perfection. And if you got an event coming up, you need someone to cater that for you, you couldn't ask for a finer caterer than Gregory's. Call them today at 287-2171 and talk with Gregory about catering your next event. And choose Gregory's for lunch today. They're in the Park Lane Plaza, Rutherfordton.
The area that was to become Yellowstone remained a secret because the Indians thought the belching terrain was the home of evil spirits, and the Indians didn't tell the whites about it because they were afraid the area had the ability to give them superior power. Back in 1827, the Philadelphia Gazette published a letter from mountain man John Coulter about the area. People started calling it Coulter's Hell, and in a way it did become his hell because no one believed him. In 1830, mountain man Jim Bridger brought back stories about Yellowstone. But because Bridger was considered a yarner, one who tells tales, when he told people about hooking a fish in cold water and then cooking it by pulling it upstream, no one believed him. In 1869, 3 mountain men set out to lay to rest the rumors about the area. During their 6-week trip, they saw Yellowstone Lake, Fountain Geyser, and thermal features. But when they returned to civilization, fearing people would call them crazy, they said nothing about it. Finally, in 1870, almost 45 years after the first stories about the wonders of Yellowstone started filtering east, Congress granted $25,000 to Ferdinand Hayden to survey the Western Territories. Hayden was an experienced explorer who was sometimes called Grasshopper Mind. But once and for all, Hayden was able to document the wonders of Yellowstone. The next time we're together, I'll have the story of Hayden's expedition and the photographer who brought back the first evidence of Yellowstone's wonders. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
17 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday morning, the 5th day of March. Let's get started now with our reports. And we go to the Sheriff's Department, and Deputy Butron is on the phone with me right now to give us that update. Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great, thanks. Tell us what's been going on over the weekend.
In the past 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 259 calls for service. The jail's processed 19 arrests. There's currently 177 detainees in the jail. For arrest reports, Dustin Vernon Lauder was charged with possession of Schedule 2 controlled substance and a misdemeanor possession of a Schedule 6 controlled substance. Hazel Nicole McFarland was charged with possession of Schedule 2 controlled substance. Amy Lauder McCurry was charged with failure to comply. Lisa Marie Holland was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Billy Shetland Trotter was charged with assault on a female, violation of domestic violence protection order, and interfere with emergency communication personnel. Ashley Leanne Osborne was charged with misdemeanor larceny. Christopher Lamont Miller was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Kyla Chris Boisvert was charged with communicating threats. Amanda Ann Smith was charged with obtaining prior to a false pretense and attempted to obtain prior to a false pretense. Dustin Todd McSellen was served with show cause order. Jerry Darrell Lovelace Jr. was charged with possession of methamphetamine. Charles James Copeland was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. For incident reports, Diamond Janae Thomas reported an assault with a deadly weapon and damage to personal property. Dawn Marie Griffin reported a damage to personal property. Robert Eric Shuford reported a littering. Caitlin Nicole Reese was reported as a runaway juvenile. Daphne Peterson Layton reported a breaking and entering and assault by strangulation. Samantha Pearl Irvin reported assault on a female, interfering with emergency communications, and assault while pointing a gun. Paul Christian Zimmerman reported a breaking and entering and an injury to personal property. And that's all we have for the weekend.
Deputy Butron, thank you so very much for that report, and you be safe out there today.
Thank you, sir.
See ya. Bye-bye. And that's the report from the Sheriff's Department, 19 minutes after 7. Communications Center report is next.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
We have Jessica on the phone with me right now from the Communications Center with the report today. Jessica, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 48 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 655 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 52 EMS calls, 26 for rescue. Sheriff's Office responded to 259, Forest City to 136, Lake Lure 32, Rutherford 53, Spindale 112. Fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a vehicle accident, Bostic responded to a vehicle accident, Chimney Rock responded to an industrial fire alarm. Forest City responded to a vehicle accident, an industrial fire alarm. Lake Lure responded to a vehicle accident, Spindale a vehicle accident, and Sandy Mush a vehicle accident. And that's all we've got today.
Thanks, Jessica. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye. When you want some sound facts about better hearing, go see Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear in Forest City. It's just that simple. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers worldwide. There's no better respected or well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Ear. Schedule your free hearing test by calling 368-4126. That's 368-4126. You may want to ask about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0 with the advanced technology. The high-def sound quality adapts to your surroundings automatically. It zeroes in on conversations while reducing distracting background noise. It prevents those embarrassing whistling sounds that occur sometimes. You've heard those. There's so many features you'll appreciate about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0. Just ask Lisa Terry about it when you're ready for a positive change in your hearing. 1512 West Main Street, Forest City, Suite 102 is where she's located. Phone number is 368-4126. 368-4126. Find out more about that miracle in Miracle Ear. Let's check in with Ruby Taylor, see what's been happening in the Danieltown Fire District. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
Anything going on down there?
Yeah, we had a vehicle accident, and on my birthday calendar, I've got Tammy Johnson, Megan Fiore, Janet Carpenter, Boyce Carpenter, Janice Queen, and Jennifer Owens having birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. And then Sulphur Springs Baptist Church's Spring Revival will start next Sunday, March 11th at 7 p.m. And then on Monday through Thursday, it will start at 6:30 p.m. and the visiting minister will be Reverend Charlie Glover. And everyone is welcome. And the signs are in the Secrets today. I'm going to Secrets tomorrow, and that's all I got.
Thanks very much, Ruby. Enjoy your day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're being kind today to Jimmy and Tammy Ellenberg up at Ellenberg's Garage there in Union Mills. They're having an anniversary today, so give them a call and buzz them out and tell them happy anniversary. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. You know, I'm glad to have a company like Henson Building Material on the morning report with us. Fine company, fine local company. A company that has a stellar history right here in Rutherford County. You heard me talk a lot about companies that are run by local folks. Well, this one does. Started as a sawmill back in 1938, as involved to meet the needs of our changing community. And now Henson Building Material on Duke Street, Forest City, stands tall and proud of their local heritage. You know, Henson Building Material has a lot of surprises for those of you who haven't been there in a long time. They are more than just a lumber yard, you know. Oh yeah, so much more. Get anything for your house, from electrical to plumbing to power tools to door hardware to cleaning supplies, and on I could go. And one of the many things that makes Henson Building Material such a popular place to shop is their customer service. I don't know about you, but I like to know there's somebody that can help me if I need help and leave me alone if I don't. They have somebody that will help you find what you're looking for and make suggestions on how to use it if you need help. You can get it and get out without having to look for someone who can help you. I like that. Darren Honeycutt, the manager, and his team over have over 100 years of combined experience. There are a lot of things I can tell you about Henson Building Material. I will as time to come on. But Duke Street location in Forest City. They're open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays. And they're very civic-minded. They do a lot of things for habitat. They don't get out on the street bark about it, but they do a lot of things. And a company that believes in the community like that is going to be done and run well. Whatever you're looking for, even from a roll of duct tape. Duke Street, Forest City. Henson's Building Material. More than just a lumber yard. Let's check in with Steve now up at Rumbling Ball. What a beautiful day to be in Rumbling Ball, Steve.
It is. It's nice and crisp. We got a layer of ice on the roof over there, but it's going to warm up nicely, I think, today. It's 34 now. And the trees are blooming. We've had enough rain to keep everything happy. And we're going to have a real busy week this week. I was just adding up the totals of the people coming in for the road teams. We got 350.
Wow.
About 350 personnel involved that's going to be here either coming or leaving this week. And we've got about 7 teams. So the biggest one, of course, is the University of North Carolina.
They'll be there this week?
Yes, sir. They're going to be here. They're going to come in Saturday, it looks like. So they're going to start coming in Thursday, and they're going to be coming in through Sunday. So at least they'll be spread out a little bit, so we can kind of figure out how to place them with these lake issues that we got. But we're ready for them. We got docks made for them and racks and all that good stuff that goes along with it. So we're moving forward with all that. So I think we've done pretty good preparation. So we're ready to roll, I think. I hope. And then we'll get to a little bit of a rest next week after they leave and get a time change and lose an hour's sleep, but that's okay. Thinking way ahead here.
I need all the beauty sleep I can get, though, Steve.
Yeah. I do want to say this on a personal note. The garden class I was promoting last week, all those classes are filled up, so there won't be any space available, so I just want to say that if you haven't.
Okay.
So, but nevertheless, if anybody wants my itinerary on growing roses, they can email me at sernest@rumlingball.com, and I'll be glad to send them a copy of it after the class.
sernest@rumlingball.com.
Yes, sir, and it's EARNEST for Ernest. So
that's nice of you to do that.
Oh, I'll be happy to do that. Yeah, especially after advertising it, and the classes are filled up now.
Good.
So we'll be happy to do that.
Well, that's a good problem to have when classes are full.
Yes, sir. I'll take that and run with it.
Yeah.
In spite of me, they're full. We're good. Right. It's been quiet here. Nothing on the activity front, from what I've been told. So we're fortunate in that way, and we'll keep it that way, hopefully, for this week because of all the activities going on. So.
All right. We'll have a great day up there, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow to see if you got through Monday okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I'll see you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 28 minutes after 7 o'clock, and I'll tell you, with the wind blowing like it's been blowing, one of the great things you could have outside is one of those wind chimes. You love those? Boy, I do. I love to hear them. I've got one hanging outside my den window there, and that wind's been blowing. I've been hearing that thing tinkle. It's sort of relaxing to me. Well, Washburn Store's got a good selection of those wind chimes. They got a lot of local honey still for sale over there. Stick candy's always available. And you might want to think about Pointer brand overalls for working out in the garden this springtime and summer. They got straw hats, sun visors, and golf caps. And on and on and on. And up and down the aisle you can go at Washburn General Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. What a place to visit, huh? What a place to visit. Go see them over there, and I think you'll enjoy your trip as many of us do. Next on the agenda this morning is a stop at Hudlow. Bob Hodge is on the phone now to give us that update. Bob, how you doing?
Oh, doing good on this pretty Monday morning.
Isn't it beautiful?
It was, didn't we? Had a nice weekend, too.
Yeah. I'll take another one like that.
Looked like that next weekend, this coming weekend, is going to be rainy, so back in the rain again there. So,
yeah.
But let's see, we run our times up there, don't we? This weekend, coming weekend.
Is it this weekend? Yep, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the 11th.
Yeah, run it up Sunday morning or Saturday night or whatever you want to do there. So
I hate losing that hour's sleep, Bob.
you think you might lose an hour?
Yeah, I think I might lose that hour.
Well, just go to bed an hour early.
Well, I might do that.
Yeah, that'll leave me up there.
Here lately, I've been going to sleep pretty early in the evening.
Oh, okay. Well, Jim, up there with the fire department over the weekend, it's been pretty quiet. We answered a Grace fire call, and we answered a few medical calls, and that's about it with the fire department. Now, Mount Vernon Community Club is having their chicken pie and country ham supper, and that's coming up this Saturday evening, the 10th, and that's from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Adults $9, children $5, 5 and under's free. They have country ham, chicken pie, green beans, slaw, grits, applesauce, biscuits, homemade dessert, and tea. And Jim, that's about it. Things are running along good up here this morning. Maybe we'll have a nice day up here.
Well, I hope you enjoy it, Bob, and have a good time, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Mr. Bob Hodge reporting out of Union, Hudlow this morning. Well, Farmers Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply is across the road. They've got their gates open already. They opened it a little earlier this morning, and they're ready for springtime if you are. They have in stock right now red Pontiac seed potatoes, Kennebec seed potatoes, Yukon Gold seed potatoes. Onion sets are available also. Plenty of fertilizer, 10-10-10, $9.49 for a 50-pound bag, $3.66 per ton. Those of you who have a lot of need for fertilizer, 17-17-17, $12.99 for a 50-pound bag, $4.73 per ton. Check your propane tanks. They got plenty of propane to sell you at good price as well. Farmers Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. They keep shelled deer corn. They keep corn on the cob. Generic dog food specialty price at 20% off all dog beds. At Farmers Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. You'll find them at 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton, and the phone number is 287-3272, and they open at 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, 7:30 until 2 o'clock. Let's check in with Sue Price now. She's over at the Cherry Mountain Fire District. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday. It's a beautiful day out there. A little bit cold. I started out at 27 this morning, but it's going to warm up and be a nice day.
I had a little ice on my windshield. I had to do a little bit, not heavy. It wasn't real thick, but it's a little bit. I had to scrape it off before I got started this morning.
Yeah. There's a little bit of frost around, too. So, but anyway, it's still sort of winter time. March. When we get through March, we'll be doing better, maybe. But anyway, well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. That's a good thing. And I don't have any birthdays on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got a birthday for Kristen Bumgarner. And nothing on Fairviews today. And nothing on First Roads for today. So not too many celebrating over this way, but we hope anybody that is will have a real good day. And in my announcements, coming up on the 13th from 5 to 9 at Shelby Pizza Inn, there'll be a benefit for Amber, and we hope a lot of people will go out and take part in that. She's had brain surgery. I think this was about her third one. She's just had a rough time, but she's hanging in there and doing all right. So we want to help her with those medical bills if we can. And so far, that's all I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. You too, and I'll see you next time.
Okay,
Right,
bye-bye.
7:34.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
I want to give a big shout out this morning to our listeners over in the Mill Spring area, Polk County, Mill Springs, Sunnyview area. We hear more and more from you, and I appreciate you letting us know that you're listening to us, and thanks you for tuning to WCAB, Mill Springs and Sunnyview. We give you a big shout out from WCAB this morning in the morning wake-up call. Right now we're heading up toward upstate Union Mills to get the report from Brenda Kelly. Good morning, Brenda Kelly.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you on this magnificent Monday morning?
I am just happy as a lark.
We might as well be, hadn't we?
I feel like sitting on a limb and whistling.
Well, you just go right ahead. You just sit right up there and whistle. We'll let you.
All right, if I can just climb that tree.
Get you a what is these things these hunters use? A hunt stand. And climb up it.
Yeah, that'll work.
Then you got a little perch and just sit up there and whistle all you want to.
Whistle while I work.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, what happened to Carolina?
I don't know. I watched, I think it was most of the first half, and it was, it was touch and go, one to be 2 points ahead, and then go down to the other end, the other and be 2 points ahead, and then Carolina, I think, got either 3 or 5 points ahead, and I thought, I don't know if my nerves is going to take this or not. So I went to bed. But I just had a feeling because Carolina beat them at their home. I said Duke's going to beat them at their home, and they did. So win a few and lose a few, but that's all right. I still prefer the Carolina blue.
Oh yeah. Well,
I don't care for the Duke blue. That's okay.
ACC tournament's coming up here just about a few days.
I know it. Boy, howdy. Whew. It's going to be a time, ain't it?
It is. It sure is. I don't know the schedule just yet. It depends on, I guess, now that Carolina's lost to Duke, I don't know how that schedule is going to set up, but we're going to have many of those games at least.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I still think about Peggy Alley when it's this time of the year. Boy, when they used to be TVs everywhere down there at the home, she'd be, every time she went by, she'd stop a few minutes and look, she kept up with it.
Yeah, she was a
she did.
Big fan, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see, I've got 26 degrees on the front porch this morning. That's a little bit cold around the edges. Birthdays and anniversaries today. I believe it's the couple you're being kind to. Jimmy and Tammy Ellenberg, Jessica Reedy, and Jay Bree Ship on Round Hill. I've got Lynette Melton's birthday, so we hope all these people have a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcements, there's going to be a benefit supper for Ann Connor, a cancer patient, and this will be at the White House Community Center Saturday, March 10th from 4:30 to 7:30. And then the Gilbert United Methodist Church Revival, it started last night, and it'll go through Monday and Tuesday, the 5th and the 6th. Tonight they're going to have David Bradley, and Tuesday it'll be special music. And then we got a buffet breakfast at the Gilbert School Community Center. Starts at 7 a.m. and goes to 10 a.m. This is Saturday the 10th. Adults is $6, kids 6 to 12, $3. 6 and under free, all you can eat, sausage, bacon, liver mush, gravy and biscuits, and all the trimmings. And proceeds go to help rebuild the old Gilbert School. And I reckon that's all I got going on that I know of so far.
All righty.
We just hope everybody has a wonderful Monday.
I hope you have a great day as well, and we'll check back in to see if that happened tomorrow morning.
Okay, catch you later.
Bye, Brenda. Brenda Kelly reporting out of Union Mills this morning with the Kelly Report, 39 minutes after 7.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Hutchins Pest Control appreciates the confidence you placed in them for the last 8 years in a row. They've won Best in the Business. They appreciate the confidence you give them, and they're going to continue to be just that. The honest, dependable, and on-time service is what their motto is, and they try to live up to it. When the name's on the company, you try your best to do the best you can do. Call on them when you need pest control. If you got a problem or you want to nip it before it becomes a problem, call them at 287-5171. That's 287-5171. You get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control. Honest, dependable, and on-time service.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with a Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
This morning, a little after 8 o'clock, we'll have Terry Thomas talk about where some jobs are in our market. Then following that, Brandon Gosey will be in to talk about a forum coming up here real soon about violence in school violence, and we'll talk with him about how that's coming and what that's all about. That's about 8:10 this morning with Brandon Gosey. 8:30 this morning, Word of Faith Fellowship speaks out live here in the studio. Right now, though, speaking of live, we're going to see if he is alive, and that's Luther Gilligan in Ellenboro. Luther, good morning.
Good morning, you two. Enjoy this early morning daylight while you can, because it's coming to a stop next Saturday morning.
It'll be dark next week, won't it?
It'll be dark next week this time of day. Well, it'll be daylight this time of day. It won't be bright. The sun won't be as high up the sky as it is now.
Yeah, that's right.
But, hey, we had some late evenings, though.
We can enjoy those afternoons, sure enough.
That's right. We can enjoy the late afternoon. But, hey, we can enjoy it either way it goes. I'm going to have a good time.
I'm going to enjoy whatever happens.
Daylight. If it's dark, I'll turn the lights on. One way or the other. As long as if not, I'll find my flashlight and use it.
There you go.
But it's a good day down here. It's quiet this morning. Well, we had a quiet weekend down here. Wasn't a whole lot of excitement going on down here. Everything's peaceful. Let's see, part of I'm going to have one better call. Other than that, things have been quiet, just normal, everyday thing right here. Man, coming up this Sunday, though, down at United Oak Grove Methodist Church, going to be having their annual chicken pie lunch there. That's going to start right after lunch, right after worship service next Sunday, probably about 12:30, and that's everybody's invited out there. That's just coming Sunday, right after church, about 12:30, Oak Grove, their annual chicken pie lunch there. And nothing else is going on down here. We want to wish happy birthday day to see Pastor Curley. He's having one, and also Keith Hunt's having one. And Bob Ford down here, he's having a birthday today. And Kyle and Brandon Sisk, they're having a wedding anniversary. And also Ronnie and Sharon Hawkins is having one. So we hope these people have a great day and enjoy their day. Jim, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Enjoy your day, too, and I'll see you then.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye. It's time for birthdays and anniversaries for this Monday, the 5th day of March, March 5th. If you're celebrating, call it into us so we can celebrate with you. 287-3356, and we'll give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up in just a moment. More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. Well, here's the phone number, 245-0310. Here's the address, 1512 West Main Street, right across the North State Gas Company. You'll also find them at southerncarpet.net and on the Facebook. I'm talking about Southern Carpet, a long-lasting tradition of quality. Home of Bruce Hardwood, Appalachian Hardwood, Ceramic Tile, Armstrong Vinyl, Tarkett Flooring, and on we could go. They got some of the best names and floor covering you could possibly want. They can satisfy what you're looking for. Just tell them what your dreams are about your house, your floors, and they can help you work that out. Go see them at Southern Carpet this week. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Birthdays and anniversaries can be called in at 287-3356. Good morning from the Drop-In. Get a delicious liver mush biscuit for only 99 cents. I've seen that liver mush. Boy, that is a good-looking slice of liver mush. And you get a hot cup of 12-ounce S&D coffee for only 99 cents. Great and cheap breakfast for only $1.98. You can't beat it. Now at Drop-In, get 2-liter Coke and Mountain Dew products for only 99 cents, or 15-pack Coke products for only $3.99. And remember, veterans get 10% off all day, every day. Drop-In Foods and Major Lee's Delis are Rutherford County Veteran Service-only platinum sponsors. Try those For Real milkshakes. And kids, try the new flavored Sour Patch Red Berry. All milkshakes are only $2.98. For the month of March, the Drop-In is featuring their delicious chicken wraps. That's golden fried chicken strips with your choice of honey mustard or ranch dressing, and you've got a great snack or meal. This month only, wraps are on sale for only $2.19 or get 2 for $4.25. The Drop-In, your hometown convenience store since 1981. Come on, drop in.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for City.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for City. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy anniversary to Jimmy and Tammy Ellenberg up at Union Mills. They own the Ellenberg's Garage up there. It's their anniversary today. Joe Davison over in Shiloh's 81 today. Shannon Skipper down in the Floyd's Creek community is also celebrating a birthday. And Tiffany Fish has a birthday. She's 28, lives up in Lake Lure, but works with the Arcadia North Star Company there on Main Street, Rutherford. I want to wish all these folks a happy birthday. Also, Jessica Reedy and Jebbery Ship having birthdays. So happy birthday, happy anniversary. We'll see who's going to win the Daylight Donuts here in just a moment.
Years ago, a Boston minister saw a group of young boys loitering around a street corner with a small dog in the middle of their circle and asked them what they were doing. To the minister's surprise, they replied, telling lies. And the one who tells the biggest lie gets the dog. The minister, wanting to use this as a teaching moment with the boys, said, "Why, when I was your age, I never ever thought of telling a lie." The boys looked at one another a little crestfallen. Finally, one of them shrugged and said, "Well, I guess he wins the dog." George Washington, the father of our country, is reported to have said following the discovery of a fallen cherry tree, "I did it. I cannot tell a lie." This is the public persona we put on truthfulness. For example, very few parents accept lying by their children as appropriate behavior. And we expect our leaders to be people of honesty and truthfulness when telling us what they intend to do. But too often, this is not reality. The Bible is very clear that a person's life is to be characterized by truth-telling. Truthfulness is absolutely imperative if we are to function together as a noble society. Oh, for the days when my word is my bond is enough to conclude the deal. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
Big congratulations going out to Tiffany Fish. She's 28, lives in Lake Lure, works at Acadia North Star, and she has just won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Congratulations to Tiffany Fish. Now, coming up next hour, a busy full hour, we got Terry Thomas to talk about what some job opportunities are, folks out. There's no jobs there. Well, listen up. We got jobs for you. And then Brandon Gosey will be in to talk about a big forum coming up right away about dealing with the crisis in schools with the shootings and all those kind of things. We'll discuss that with Brandon when that's coming in. And then 8:30, of course, is Word of Faith Fellowship back in the studio giving their side of the story.
One and one are two. NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. 3 days after the big nor'easter, and still thousands are without power in the New York City metro area. WCBS TV's Aaron Logan reports from New Rochelle, Westchester County, about 45 minutes outside New York City.
Unless you're one of a few here with a generator, you are without power.
East Carolina University is moving forward to help the region around its Greenville campus by something its chancellor, Cecil Staton, describes as their rural prosperity initiative. He says they want to promote improving conditions for people in that area.
So we want to address the healthcare disparities. We can do that through our College of Nursing, through our College of Allied Health Sciences. And then finally, we want to address disparities in rural and underserved areas of our state in the area of economic development.
There are multiple reports. The Mueller investigation into Russia's election meddling has now subpoenaed any and all documents and communications from President Trump's closest advisors. The request includes communications with the president that go back as far as November of 2015. CBS News senior legal analyst Andrew Cohen.
The news here is the time frame that Mueller reportedly is looking at a time before the Trump campaign was launched. And the idea, I suppose, is to try to get a sense of whether there were any discussions even back then about the Russians. It's aggressive, but it's certainly logical for a prosecutor to want to know how far back those contacts may have gone.
North Carolina farmers are worried about their crops with a blast of cold this week. Ron Edwards, manager of a farm near Charlotte, tells WSOC News there is not much they can do to prevent damage. Crews at Spring Farms are pruning peach trees, which is what they typically do before the trees start blooming.
We're on schedule. Mother Nature, quote, is off schedule.
Police suspect alcohol may have played a role in the crash that left a man dead last night in northwest Charlotte. You're listening to NCN News.
The Carolina Hurricanes' mega-popular Homegrown Series continues with its next-to-last event of this season, Saturday, March 17th, as the Canes host the Philadelphia Flyers. On this night and this night only, you can indulge in a savory pimento grilled cheese sandwich, peach cobbler, beer from Fuquay Varina's Aviator Brewing Company, and you can take home one of only 200 T-shirts specially designed by House of Swank. Learn more at hurricanes.com/homegrown. That's hurricanes.com/homegrown.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
The chancellor of ECU says the school's success is tied to the success of rural eastern North Carolina. Cecil Staton says they are looking to expand how they serve that area of the state through its multiple ways, including by training doctors at their medical school.
We want to grow our enrollment at Brody. We want to double or actually grow by 50% from 80 to 120 students per year. We want to build a new medical education facility to train those doctors for the 21st century.
President Trump welcomes Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House later today.
I'm Robert Berger in Jerusalem. Netanyahu says Iran will top the agenda at the White House talks. The Prime Minister says Iran is setting up bases in Syria that could threaten Israel, and he wants U.S. backing for any Israeli military action to prevent that. Netanyahu is also expected to invite President Trump to the opening of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem in May.
A delegation of South Korean officials in Pyeongchang are scheduled to meet with North Korea's leader. Ben Tracy has that.
You have seen this outreach from North Korea to South Korea. Very kind words about President Moon and a lot of the statements that are coming out of North Korea, which is a complete 180 from where we were a year ago. But you haven't seen North Korea really dial down the rhetoric in terms of the United States or President Trump. So you see engagement on the peninsula itself, but a lot of people believe this is an effort to kind of sideline the United States and put the United States in a weak position.
A North Carolina man originally charged more than a year ago with sex crimes against a 4-year-old now faces 37 charges related to crimes against children. Pender County authorities say 70-year-old Haywood Elwood Garner Jr. of Hampstead was arrested over the weekend and charged with a sex crime against a child. Mike Rayleigh, NCN.
Let the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business. It works. Call Tracy or Jim at
at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A trail of destruction along the East Coast following a massive storm packed with wind, snow, and heavy rain this weekend. Crews scrambling to repair downed power lines. Nearly 500,000 customers still without power. That storm being blamed for at least 9 deaths. And as ABC's Kenneth Moten tells us, some residents say they're lucky to be alive.
In Fairfax County, Virginia, resident Scott Rowland asleep when his 100-foot red oak came crashing in.
My head was on that pillow, and thankfully it was on the left side of the pillow.
He was pinned for 30 minutes, somehow only suffering a small cut on his head.
A 100-foot red oak tree came through my roof, and it stopped an inch from my face. I mean, if that's not a miracle, what is?
Falling trees causing destruction up and down the Northeast corridor.
ABC's Kenneth Moten. President Trump will welcome Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today at the White House for a round of meetings. It comes as the president's son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner is also coming under scrutiny over possible conflict of interest with his family businesses and White House meetings. Florida state senators meeting today to consider a pair of controversial measures on gun control following the Parkland school shootings.
The more controversial of the proposals would create a school marshals program under which some staff, including teachers, would be trained, licensed, and allowed to carry concealed firearms. Florida State Representative Robert Asensio has serious doubts.
It takes a lot more than just this simple training. They're not law enforcement officers.
But Republicans like Jose Oliva insist
they would in fact be law enforcement only in the event of an active shooter.
Another measure under consideration would raise the minimum age for firearms purchases in Florida to 21. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
At the Oscars last night,
and the Oscar goes to
the stars shine. Frances McDormand winning Best Actress for her role in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Gary Oldman won Best Actor, and The Shape of Water won Best Picture. This is ABC News.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS? Are you facing potential wage garnishments, levies, or tax liens? With a call to the Attorney's Tax Relief Helpline, you can get the tax help you need through special programs that can reduce your liability by thousands of dollars. Pick up your mobile phone and dial *1234. Yes, that's right. Pick up your mobile phone and dial *1234. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all collection activities against you. Attorney's Tax Relief has been helping consumers reduce their debt and are trusted and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Again, on your mobile phone, dial *1234. That's *1234. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call Attorney's Tax Relief now and get free information and to see if you qualify. You can fix this, but don't wait any longer. Pick up your mobile phone and dial *1234. That's *1234.
Lawyers for Bill Cosby are going to court to stop his female accusers from testifying at his sexual assault retrial that's due up in April. ABC's Aaron Katursky has a preview.
A Pennsylvania judge could reshape the Cosby criminal case. After a 2-day hearing that starts today, the judge will decide whether some of the more than 50 women who have accused Bill Cosby of sexual assault can testify at his retrial. Prosecutors said they want to show a pattern of behavior. The defense said all the women show us a pattern of accusations, and the defense said they should not be allowed.
ABC's Aaron Katursky. After last night's Oscar winners accepted their wins, they talked backstage with ABC's Lara Spencer. Best Original Screenplay winner Jordan Peele talking about breaking new ground and reveling from the view at the Dolby Theater stage.
Jordan Peele making history, becoming the first African American to win Best Original Screenplay for his much talked about thriller Get Out.
Can I tell you the craziest thing is getting up there and seeing the sea of faces. You got Denzel Washington right here, you got Meryl Streep, you got Lupita.
Did you really almost give up writing this? You wrote it, you put it down, you wrote it, you put it down.
I kept at it, and I just kept trying to make the movie that I wish someone would make for me.
ABC's Lara Spencer. On Wall Street, markets expected to open mixed at the bell. Talks of tariffs on aluminum and steel weighing on the Dow. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Our sheriff, Chris Francis, is running for re-election May the 8th, and he is the only candidate who knows the office of sheriff from the ground up. Under his command, the last 7+ years, he has displayed leadership and management skills and has established a professional department. Morale is the best in years, and the crime rate is down. Sheriff Francis is a native of Rutherford County. He has a BS degree in criminal justice and has a sterling reputation in the county and amongst his peers. Give Sheriff Francis and his deputies a vote of confidence for the job well done on May the 8th. Paid for by Ken and Kathy Staggs.
We've got a sunny and cold morning on tap across the area. After that, we'll turn mostly sunny to in spots partly cloudy midday into the afternoon. There may be some patches of high cirrus clouds around then. We'll look for high temperatures around 54 to 60. Tonight we start out fair in the evening, then partly to mostly cloudy later. Lows in the low 30s to around 40. Mostly cloudy and cooler Tuesday. Some patchy sprinkles and areas of light rain. Highs low 40s north to low 50s south. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
35 degrees now under sunny skies. We are warming up a little. Should be getting up to around 60 with partly cloudy skies. It looks beautiful out there on this marvelous Monday morning. Then tonight dropping back to 42 with some scattered shower possibilities, about 50-50 chance. Now looking toward the weekend, on Thursday we've got mostly sunny skies. Friday mostly sunny. Highs around 54. Then on Saturday, cloudy with a chance of rain. Highs around 58. Then on Sunday, mostly cloudy with rain likely. Highs around 56. And again, right now, beautiful, great getting up morning in the Foothills and 35 degrees. Congratulations to Tiffany Fish. She's 28, lives up in Lake Lure. She won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. She works over at Arcadia North Star. And we're being kind to Jamie and Tammy Ellenberg, owner of Ellenberg's Garage up in Union Mills, on their anniversary today. Six minutes after 8 o'clock, we got Brandon Agosi coming in just a few moments to talk about a big event coming up. Right now, here is Terry Thomas. He's going to tell us where some job opportunities are. Terry, good morning. Happy Monday.
How are you?
Doing great. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
Tell us where some job opportunities are, Terry.
Okay, we're going to start out in the Far City area. We have several sales associates positions. They are full-time and part-time. They do require a high school diploma and or GED, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have a sales support position in the Far City area. This job also requires a high school diploma and or GED, and the pay depends upon experience. We have a maintenance technician. This job does require a high school diploma and at least 6 months of maintenance experience, which includes electrical and mechanical. And the pay on this job depends upon experience. And we also have a dialysis patient care technician position in the Far City area. The employer is willing to train, but you must have a high school diploma, and the pay depends upon experience. In the Rutherford area, we have a vulcanizing operator position. This job does require a high school diploma and or GED and at least 1 year of manufacturing experience, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have a starch and brush operator position. This job does require 1 year of manufacturing experience and a high school diploma, and the pay depends upon experience. We have a manufacturing engineering position for the Rutherford area. This job does require a bachelor's degree, and the pay depends upon experience. And we also have various production positions. This job does require a high school diploma and at least 1 year manufacturing experience, and this is through a staffing agency. In the Tryon area, we have a shipping and receiving clerk position. This job pays from $9 to $13.50 an hour, depending upon experience. And also in the Rutherford area, we have a kitchen helper position. This job pays from $8 to $8.50 an hour. You must have at least 6 months experience. We do have various certified nursing assistants positions, or CNA, personal care aides, and RN positions throughout the county, and the pay depends upon experience. And these are just a few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherford. For more information on these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry Thomas, thank you so very much. It's always encouraging to know we have jobs available if we can just get folks up off the couch to go get them.
That's correct.
You have a great week.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye. 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, we have Brandon Agosti in the studio. He'll be with me in just a couple of minutes right after this.
You can enjoy the fun of playing bingo every Thursday with friends at American Legion Post 74. Doors open at 6 p.m. Enjoy the best game in town. First Thursday night every month is a big night. American Legion Post 74 puts on great games, and you should bring your friends and get in on the fun. Food is always available. Make it a night and support the American Legion Post 74. And tell them that you heard this on WCAB. You get 10% off your bingo package. 2501-6474 Highway at Green Hill. Also keep this in mind. You can rent their log cabin or auditorium for meetings, parties, family reunions, receptions, whatever. Contact American Legion 74 at att.net or phone them at 395-2223 and leave a message.
All right, it's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. With me in the studio this morning is Brandon Agosti. He's a member of the Rutherford County Board of Education, also a teacher. And he's also spearheading a forum coming up, public forum, that I wanted him to come in and tell you a little bit more about it. And Brandon, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Room.
Good morning, Jim. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Glad to have you today.
Good, thank you.
Keeping schools safe is what your anchor is. Tell us what that's all about.
It's just an opportunity for community members to come together and engage in some healthy conversation with community leaders, elected officials, various providers, school officials from our charter schools, from our public schools, and just allow an opportunity for everybody to engage in a discussion about what these systems are doing to keep our schools safe, to keep our children safe, and to also kind of hear ideas and engage, like I said, in some healthy conversation with the public about what we could do differently. Obviously, new ideas are welcomed, and we're willing and ready to listen to the public. And so I'm hopeful that it can just bring out some new conversation and new dialogue in our county so that we can ensure that we're doing everything we can to keep our schools safe.
Well, school violence is certainly on the top of our minds after recent occurrences down in Florida. It is something, if we can raise awareness here in Rutherford County. Fortunately, we've not experienced any of that, but thank God for that.
Absolutely.
But fortunately, we haven't. But it's the kind of thing that community leaders need to come together and discuss what we can do to ensure that doesn't happen.
I agree. Jim, and we have a pretty exhaustive list of individuals who've signed up, and I'd be happy to share that with you if you want me to. We've got Miss Holly Sherburne. She is the East Rutherford High School Student Body President. We've got Dr. Janet Mason, Rutherford County Schools Superintendent. Mr. Joe Mamoni, the Headmaster of Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy. Mr. Tony Hilton, he's the CEO of Team Charter Foundation Academy of Schools. Representative Cody Henson, he's from District 113. Representative Henson was just appointed by Speaker Moore to a school safety task force of House members. Rep. David Rogers, obviously here from Rutherford County. Chief District Court Judge Randy Poole, District Court Judge Laura Powell, Sheriff Chris Francis, District Attorney Ted Bale, Commissioner Mike Benfield, Dr. Jamie Powell, Executive Director, Preferred Choice Healthcare. He is also in our schools doing mental health, counseling, group sessions, those kind of things. So we're honored to have him. Miss Joy Van Dyke, she was Rutherford County Schools Teacher of the Year for 15-16 year. Mr. Henderson, John Henderson from Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy will also be joining us, and then myself. So we've got a big group, and we're honored to have you host that event for us. So we're hopeful that you can kind of help facilitate us in some healthy discussion with everybody and those that are attending.
What do you hope to come out of this, Brandon?
There again, just an honest opportunity for people to be heard. I have received, from I work in Cleveland, teach in Cleveland County, also in Rutherford County, so there's so much conversation going on about school safety, what we're doing, what we're not doing, what we could be doing. And there again, just an opportunity for everybody to come together, share some ideas, share some input. There's a lot of good things going on that Rutherford County Schools is doing. Our school resource officers, our new, well, not new, they've been there since I was elected, but our new entrances into our schools where you're buzzed in. We're doing, our doors are locked. We've got great safety measures that are in place. Could we always do better? Absolutely. I don't think you ever want to be stagnant in your safety when it comes to our children. So I'm hopeful that we can just have some fresh ideas. Obviously that takes funding. Obviously that takes various input and so on and so forth. So just bringing all those people together, I'm hopeful that some new dialogue can take place on a very serious issue.
Where's this taking place?
Glenwood Baptist Church. It's off Bostic Sunshine Highway. If you'll give me 1 second, I will pull up the address. On 3/17/2018, so the next, not this coming Saturday, but the next time from 6 to 8 p.m. Glenwood Baptist Church is at 461 Bostic Sunshine Highway. The pastor there is Jason Toney. I would like to thank you, obviously, Mr. Bishop, for agreeing to be our moderator. Also thanks to Chad Medford and Kyle Sis for taking care of our audio and visual needs. We are going to live stream that on Facebook. There has been some discussion about Channel 13 coming in and broadcasting that out for us as well, so we're hopeful. They're unfortunately in Billy Graham mode right now with all that kind of stuff going on, so we're hoping to hear some information back from them. But I think it's going to be a great event. Had a lot of positive feedback from teachers and parents. Thank you for allowing this opportunity for people to talk. I do encourage the public to come out and to just use good manners in a sense of being able to discuss with those kind of people. Everybody should be there, and so I'm hopeful that it'll be a great turnout.
With the list of people that you have coming, it's going to sit on the forum. There's a lot of expertise there, a lot of knowledge, a lot of solid input that can be given. I think it puts us in a ready-to-move mode.
I agree.
To do some preventives. I know the school's doing a lot of great things right now. There's always another possibility.
Absolutely.
There's another idea that we can go.
Sure.
So I commend you on stepping forward and making this happen.
Thank you. We're excited. I think it's a much-needed discussion. It's unfortunate that this discussion is needed, but I don't think we are. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. It could happen here. I hope it never does. Any type of violent situation, from shootings to bomb threats, whatever it might be. I mean, we're not. What's the word? It could.
Well, because this forum is being conducted, it doesn't mean that we have any evidence that that's going to happen. It just means
absolutely
it puts us in a mode of thinking ahead.
Right. I think Rutherford County has done a great job. Yes. When you look at state numbers, I think we do a good job keeping violence down in our schools. I think for the state of North Carolina, last year and then the previous year before that has had 0 murders other than natural causes. Maybe it's something on the sports field or whatever. But I think we've done a great job, and Rutherford County's done a great job. Our sheriff, our school resource officers, our teachers, our administrators, our superintendents, our headmaster Joe Mamoni. I think we're doing some great things in Rutherford County and with our charter schools. And I hope we get a chance to share that to the public. And that's also critical to be able to make parents feel that that their child is safe in school, because I believe they are. But I do think also there's an opportunity for us to learn and to make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing.
Brandon, I think along the way, public dialogue on many issues, not only school violence, but many issues that we deal with, more public dialogue that we can have to address these, could help us perhaps calm the troubled waters before it ever gets to that point.
I agree. For me, Jim, on social media and in my emails and phone calls and stuff, I never try to mute a voice of opposition or agreement or even discord. I think it's being an elected official and being a community member in general. I think we all need to be able to engage, like you said, in a dialogue that's healthy. Arguing and fussing is not going to solve anything, but if we can come together and talk about our areas of expertise and then our input as citizens and voters, I think it'll be a great event.
Well, you're too young to remember this, but many of our listeners will remember this. There used to be a television show called Dragnet, Saturday Friday. We used to say,
I've heard of it.
Just the facts, man. Just the facts. We just need to get the facts, man.
Right.
Brad Lugosi, my guest this morning. He's sort of chairing this Keeping Schools Safe public forum that's coming up, and wanted you to know more about it. Tell us the dates again, location.
It's at Glenwood Baptist Church from 6 to 8 on March the 17th. Again, Pastor Jason Toney's been kind enough to open up his church for us. The address there is 461 Balsic Sunshine Highway, and we're hopeful that everybody will come out and join us.
Is that going to be the auditorium out in the fellowship?
We had started to do it in the fellowship hall, but I think due to the crowd size that we're hopefully expecting and some other things, we're going to move it into the sanctuary, which I think will be a better proceeding and sound and those kind of things. So we're looking for a great time. I encourage anybody to come out. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us.
Brandon Negosa, thank you for your efforts.
Thank you.
And I'll be back in just a few minutes. Kindergarten registration for school year 2018-2019 is presently going on. Children born on or before August 31st, 2013 may register in the main office of the elementary school in your school attendance district. Please bring your child's birth certificate, social security card, and immunization records when they come to register. For information about school districts and other registration topics, please call 828-288-2331. That's 288-2331, and get ready for an exciting year in kindergarten for your little one this year.
If you like looking good and finding great deals, Factory Connection is your fashion connection and is now open in our new Spindale location. We're located in the White Oak Plaza next door to the Dollar Tree with the latest in denim, unique tops, dresses, and shoes, plus great looks for guys. With savings up to 75% off department store prices, we're the smart shopper's secret weapon when it comes to looking great and saving big. Come see us at Factory Connection in Spindale for big savings.
Factory Connection. Yeah, what a great store.
Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. Again, that's 287-3338.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and have tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? Just behind Big Dave's restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325. Here's Deputy Butron now with our report from the Sheriff's Department. We aired earlier, recorded.
Was charged with failure to comply. Lisa Marie Holland was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Billy Shelton Trotter was charged with assault on a female, violation of domestic violence protection order, and interference with emergency communication personnel. Ashley Leanne Osborne was charged with misdemeanor larceny. Christopher Lamont Miller was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Kyla Chris Boisbert was charged with communicating threats. Amanda Ann Smith was charged with obtaining prior to a false pretense and attempted to obtain prior to a false pretense. Dustin Todd McSellen was charged or served with show cause order. Jerry Darrell Lovelace Jr. was charged with possession of methamphetamine. Charles James Copeland was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. For incident reports, Diamond Janae Thomas reported an assault with a deadly weapon and damage to personal property. Dawn Marie Griffin reported a damage to personal property. Robert Eric Shuford reported a littering. Caitlin Nicole Reese was reported as a runaway juvenile. Daphne Peterson Layton reported a break and entering and assault by strangulation. Samantha Pearl Irvin reported assault on a female, interfering with emergency communications, and assault by pointing a gun. Paul Christian Zimmerman reported a break and entering and an injury to personal property. And that's all we have for the weekend.
Saturday, March 17th, the original tribute band to the Eagles, Hotel California. Performing all the classic songs by the Eagles like Take It Easy. It's a classic rock takeover at the Foundation Performing Arts Center in Spindale, North Carolina.
I need some singers and screamers. How many screamers do we have here tonight?
Tickets are available at the Foundation box office Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 286-9990. That's 286-9990 to find out more information. You can also check online at foundationshows.org. Hotel California, the original tribute band to the Eagles.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare? Or maybe both? Come see me, Dwayne Hunt at Insurance Service Associates, about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301 at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
Hi everyone, this is Chuck with the Home Medical Equipment Department with Smith Drugs of Forest City. We would like to have you join our home medical equipment staff on Tuesday, March 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Home Medical Building for an open house. We will be providing refreshments and have hourly giveaways and specials on CPAP accessories. Just remember that a prescription is required for a new mask. We want to help you enjoy sleeping again. Whether you have been on CPAP therapy for some time or are a new user, please come by and see us. You will be able to meet your Philips Respironics rep on Tuesday, March 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Smith Drugs, 139 East Main Street, Forest City, or give us a call for more details at 828-245-4591.
In the animated short category at last night's Oscars, it's a poem he wrote as he wrapped up his 20-year career on the court.
I feel better than winning a championship, to be honest with you. I swear I do. It's growing up as a kid, I dreamt of winning championships, and working really hard to make that dream come true. But then, to have something like this seemingly come out of left field.
Phil Mickelson has ended his longest victory drought in his professional golf career by outlasting Justin Thomas in a one-hole playoff at the Mexico Championship. Mickelson fired a 5-under 66 for a 16-under total to secure his first win since the 2013 British Open, a stretch of 100 starts worldwide between the two wins. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We've got a sunny and cold morning on tap across the area. After that, we'll turn mostly sunny to in spots partly cloudy midday into the afternoon. There may be some patches of high cirrus clouds around then. We'll look for high temperatures around 54 to 60. Tonight, we start out fair in the evening, then partly to mostly cloudy later. Lows in the low 30s to around 40. Mostly cloudy and cooler Tuesday. Some patchy sprinkles and areas of light rain. Highs low 40s north to low 50s south. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
We're warming up nicely this morning. We're up to 38 already. Started out at 32, and then we're up to 38, climbing to 60 before it's all over with, and mostly sunny skies. And the weekend is going to be pretty good, too. On Thursday, mostly sunny, highs around 48. Friday, mostly sunny, highs around 54. We got rain coming back in the forecast for the weekend, it looks like. On Saturday and Sunday, there is about a 60% chance of rain. Right now, though, we can enjoy the beautiful day. It's a marvelous Monday, May 5th. It's 8:29 here at WCAB. Rutherfordton. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to Word of Faith Responds. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us. I have a wonderful friend of mine here with me today, Bobby Carter, and you're going to really enjoy hearing the things that God has done in his life. Bobby and his wife moved to Word of Faith Fellowship 15 years ago from Marion. They have a daughter who's in the 10th grade who goes to the Word of Faith Christian School. Bobby owns his own business here in Rutherford County. It's Carter Custom Cabinetry. He builds beautiful kitchen cabinets and other cabinets, and he did my house, and I can tell you they're absolutely beautiful. He's very talented, and so Bobby is very involved in the ministry at our church. One of the things that he does is he's involved with the prison ministry. You've heard testimonies from people we've had who come to our church out of prison who are in our church and doing great. You've heard some of those recently in some of our radio programs, and Bobby actually is very involved with helping these men in the prison ministry. He actually is a sponsor where he brings them out on Sundays and to our church, and then we'll return them. And then actually he has in his business 3 inmates that were former inmates, and now they're out. They've joined our church and they work in his business with him, and they are doing great. And so Bobby also loves to preach and teach, and he's a wonderful teacher of the Word of God. I enjoy it every time he gets up and shares, and I remember everything he says because it just somehow it just sticks with me. But you know, Bobby went through some tough times in his life early on, and he's going to share with you about those tough times and through those how he learned to know Jesus. So let's hear from Bobby.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Jim Bishop, for having us here today. And there's a lot about my life that I've never really shared with everybody, but to go back in time to how did we make it to Marion? I was originally from Johnson City, Tennessee. That's where I was born at, and lived there till I was almost 5 years old, and then we moved to Marion, and I never really knew why we moved to Marion, Mark, but I just recently found out why we moved to Marion, and it's because there was some very harsh times happening in my life and my mother's life, and we found out that my father had a girlfriend, and it caused a lot of turmoil in our life, and all of a sudden the girlfriend shows up to our house where we lived, and I don't really remember a lot of this. All I remember was we moved to Marion, and the girlfriend showed up to attack my mother, who was, my brother hadn't been born yet. She was pregnant with my brother, and so it became a very rough situation, and so what happened is, the lady showed to do harm to my mother, and so my mother pulled a gun out and said, you don't have a choice. So I don't know how all that ended up, but all I know is we had a friend that helped us get away from Johnson City and move to Marion.
And when you moved to Marion, did your parents actually split up at that time when your mom found out your dad had a girlfriend?
During that time, there was a period of separation, and I don't remember much of that, Mark, but I do remember my father coming back on the scene later, and trying to work things out and make things right. But we had a special friend that helped us get through that. And so I remember my mother getting a job, at the furniture factory there at Drexel, and working many years, and then when my father came back into the scene, he got a job also in Marion at a paper box factory, and so they worked things out. But still, all those years that we lived in Marion, we never knew anything about church. We never went to church. We never did anything about church. All we did was just function as really a dysfunctional family, because Daddy was gone all the time, and he spent many hours on the weekends doing other things, and so really Mom had to fend for herself, and so we spent a lot of time in daycare, or people would watch us while she worked, and so it was very hard on us, and it was very dramatic because we didn't understand, and so as we got older, Dad built a house for us down in Glenwood, and we had a nice home, and we lived there till I was in my teenage years, and I was very rebellious. I listened to a lot of bad music. I did my own thing. I wanted to do my own thing, and I didn't want to listen to nobody. But my mother always had a place in my heart because she was there. But, my dad was never there. He was always gone doing something. So I remember bad situations happening in my life younger as a teenager. And I remember one of the worst situations was my mom and dad were fighting really bad. And it was very dramatic, and I had enough of it. So I had a gun. I went and pulled that gun out at my dad, and I was going to shoot him. But that didn't happen because I'm grateful to God today that didn't happen because I would have been in jail. So anyway, we got through that, and I remember situations happening and things getting worse and worse and worse, and all of a sudden something happened to my dad, and he started going to church, and things started to change a little bit. And so he would make us go, and Mark, I didn't like it. I just hated every minute of it. And I was very rebellious, and I can remember him telling me, you just need to get your heart right, and you need to get saved. And he'd put all that pressure on me, to make things right, And so I remember we had a youth meeting, and I went down to the altar because I could feel that pressure, But I knew my life wasn't right. So I went down to the altar and made a profession of faith. But still, after all those years of going through that, I never really felt a change, Mark. I knew something had happened, but I never felt a change. So we went to church many years, went to a lot of Bible studies, a lot of prayer groups, a lot of different things in that church. And it was a very lively church, and it was really growing. I mean, when I went, it was probably 500 people at that point, and after so many years it would grow. Every year seemed like it would grow to 100 or more every year. So anyway, I remember going through all that, and things seemed to settle down at home. Things seemed to be different, and calm down, and because we were going to church and somewhat, being religious. And so anyway, I remember coming home one day from school, and this is when I was, I guess, around 15 years old, and the phone was ringing, so I went and answered the telephone because Mom was busy, and I answered the phone, and this young man's on the phone. He said, well, my name is James Carter. I called to talk to my dad. And I'm thinking, whoa, what is this all about? So I thought somebody was just playing a joke, so I hung the phone up. Well, he called back again, and this is the same man again. I said, sir, I can't talk to you. I think you've got the wrong number. So anyway, he called back again, and that time my mother answered the phone. And so she talked to this person, and come to find out, he was a half-brother that I'd never met. And here I'm almost 16 years old, and so my mother goes to my father and confronts him about this situation, and so he begins to tell the truth of what really happened, Mark. So out of this situation, I was devastated. I mean, there was lots of hurt inside of me, and I didn't know how to deal with it because I didn't know Jesus. I mean, even though I went to church, I did all these things. I mean, I read my Bible all the time. We went to prayer groups, Bible. I mean, we did everything in church that you could possibly do in a church. But it never could help that hurt and that torment inside, So as we went through that, and we realized there was a major situation here, and I saw that situation, it caused me inside wanting to run and just get away from things.
What did you learn about this half sibling that you had? Did you eventually find out what was going on really with your dad?
Well, my mom pulled my brother and I to the side and explained to us what really happened. Said, your dad has another wife, which he was still married to a lady in Virginia, and he has 3 siblings, which you have 2 half-brothers and a half-sister that we never knew about. And so we would go to see my grandmother, and it started making sense to me then when I was a little bit older, Mark. It started making sense to me because every time we'd go to see my grandmother or my grandfather, we always went early in the mornings or late in the evenings. We never went really during the day, and now I knew why, because the other family knew we'd be in town, and they didn't want us to be seen. So here we have 2 half brothers and a half sister, and another person involved in my dad's life that I never knew about. And see, my dad was gone all the time on the weekends, or sometimes during the week. So it was after we found out this damaging information to us, we were devastated. My brother, he totally locked up, and at that time, as a few years went on, Mark, my mother decided that was it. She had to leave. And so I helped my mother and my brother pack up and move out of that situation. And so when Dad came back from Virginia one weekend, he knew that was the end of it. And so I was so scared and so fearful of my dad, because the abuse that we lived in, we didn't know what was going to happen. And see, even though we were going to church all this time and all these things are happening, supposedly, at church we were a nice family, but at home it was a whole different story. So when we found that out, I made a decision in my life, Mark, when I graduated high school, that I was leaving Marion, because inside I couldn't handle it. And so I decided to go to Bible college. And so when I decided to go to Bible college, which I went to a place in Pensacola, I thought that was the answer to help me to learn about the things of God and to learn the knowledge about the things of the Bible. So I went to Bible college. I was there 3 years, and there's a scripture, it says in John 5:39, Jesus said to the Pharisees, you pore over the scriptures and you work diligently, but you don't really know me, and you don't come to me. And that's where I was. I was working so hard to do the right thing, but I never did the right thing by coming to Jesus. And I never knew Jesus in a personal way, but I knew everything about it. I mean, we studied the Bible from the beginning to the end. We studied church history. We learned Greek and Hebrew. We learned everything you could possibly learn about the Bible and what happened in the Bible, and to all the people in the Bible. We knew everything about it. They put that into us. So when we graduated college, we knew everything. They basically would teach you were invincible in the church realm. But you really wasn't, because you didn't know Jesus and you didn't know God. You never had an experience with Jesus. And I was even thinking about it on the way here this morning to the radio station, Jim. When we were learning the Bible, the emphasis wasn't on Jesus. It was about the things about Jesus. And so that's the reason I never learned God, never learned a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And so I came back from Bible school, went back to my home church I went to. The church had really grown from 500-600 to over 1,000 people now, a lot. And you heard from a good friend of mine a while back, Vince Ledford. Vince and I went to church there for years, and he and I spent a lot of time together. And we went anywhere there was a meeting, anywhere there's a camp meeting, we were there. We want to make sure we didn't miss anything. We were so dogmatic, so religious that we wasn't going to miss anything. And that's how but that scripture, we poured over the scriptures, and we tried to find the right thing, but we never could find it. And we just kept going and kept going. It was like a vicious cycle. You never could find the right thing. And so as I came back from Bible college, I had a friend of mine in Raleigh. He knew that I'd graduated college, and he called me one week and he said, "Bobby, would you like a job?" I said, "Doing what?" And he said, "Well, we need some help at the Christian school." So I decided to go do that for a year, and still the same thing, going through working all those hours, doing all those things for the church, doing so many things, but still my heart was empty, and it never did deal with the issues in my heart. Why I like to watch TV so much, or why did I like to listen to wrong music? But still, I never did know Jesus. So I had a very dramatic life, and all those hurts and all those wounds inside never did get dealt with. And so I remember coming back from Raleigh, and I was working at a friend of mine's house, and I was on the roof doing some roofing work, and the first time I ever met my wife, Amanda, she came over, and because the lady I was doing the work for, she worked at the bank, and so that's how I got introduced to Amanda. And so we started visiting each other, seeing each other, and going out and spending time with each other. And after, a couple years, we decided it was God's will for us to be married. And at that time, her sister had been coming to the Word of Faith here in Spindale. And I remember her sister in school when I was in high school, and she was a very bad person in school. We knew to stay away from that person because we'd be the ones down at the office getting in trouble. So because I knew that, and knowing she was coming here, I knew that her sister's life had changed. And so God started convicting us and dealing with us about coming to Rutherford County, coming to the Word of Faith, because we were desperate. I mean, we were a total wreck inside because she had a similar lifestyle that I had, and all the hurts and wounds in her life and all the hurts and wounds in my life. We didn't know how to help each other. All we did was in strife with each other, and it was so rough. We had no help. We had no friends, even though we went to church with all these people. And so after we decided it was God's will for us to be married, the pastor of that church told me, he said, "Now, Bobby, if you want to marry this lady, you're going to have to come to our church." So I left the Baptist church and went to the church in Old Fort, the Church of God in Old Fort, and my life really went downhill after that because there was really no spiritual growth there. And all we were really given was just religion. And the music was terrible. I mean, it was just, the music was awful because it would sound just like, even though it was different words, it sounded just like, country music, or it was so terrible, and it wasn't what I grew up in. But I knew my life had to change, so we kept crying out, and God kept dealing with us. And I remember one specific situation, Mark. Amanda and I had a lot of trouble, and we pulled up to the stop sign at 221, and the road we lived on, you could turn right and come to Spindale, or you could go left and go back to Marion. And I remember God speaking to us. The only place you can get help is in Spindale at the Word of Faith. And you know what we did? We went the wrong way because all that religion in us, it talked us out of what the Spirit of God was dealing with us about. And so we went the wrong way, Jim, and we went to the church we were going to. And then those next 3 years were the worst years of our life. I mean, we lost our entire business to a fire. I mean, our business burnt to the ground. There was nothing left. All it was what I had built up. And so God was dealing with me about the call of God in my life. And then we rebuilt our business. We found another place to survive, and still got a major tax problem. We had all kinds of situations, but we always had work. But it was God trying to teach us that we could trust Him, but we never would, even though we went to church and we did all these things. And when we got to that point in our life, we decided we just give up. We quit going to church. We quit everything. And we started going to the world. My wife worked at a camping center, and they were very big in race car driving, helping those guys. And so the devil always made it available. We could get free tickets to go to the races, or I was working in Charlotte a lot, doing all these big cabinet jobs and doing all this work down there. I mean, the devil made it available. And I could get free tickets to go to the ball games, and we went to a lot of the ball games. But when I was there was something inside of me. This is not right. You're in the wrong place. I remember going to a race one time, and all these people around drinking and carrying on and cursing, and I said, "Man, we got to get out of here. This is not right." I said, "This is not who we're supposed to be." But the Spirit of God was dealing with us inside, that we should we should leave there, that he had a better thing, he had a better place for us. And so after we going through all those heartaches and all those things in our life, God put it in her sister's heart to come help us some. And so she came and saw how bad a shape we were. And so after all of that, she got another person involved, John Dolan. He's not here anymore, but God put it in John Dolan's heart to come help us with our business. And that's when we started to change. God invited us to a graduation here at the Word of Faith, and that's the first time I ever came to the Word of Faith in Spindale, was a graduation for a precious friend of mine. And so after that, I came to a seminar.
You remember what year that was?
I'm not sure, Mark. I thought it was around 2000, 2001 maybe. And then once we started coming, once I came to the Word of Faith, my first time there, God said, "This is where you're supposed to be." And I can't explain it. I don't really understand it back then, but all I knew was, I'm coming. And I never had a suit. All I had was a regular dress shirt and a pair of slacks, and then God gave me all the clothes I ever needed and all the shoes I ever need. I mean, God started giving me everything. And God started helping us get out of debt. And God started saving us and bringing us out of that bondage so He could change our hearts. And because of all that, I began to learn what repentance and change of heart really was. Because all those years I went to church, and all those years I thought I did the right thing, but I never knew Jesus until I started coming, to the Word of Faith in Spindale. And God started teaching me the right way and how I could trust Him with my whole heart. And God started dealing with those issues in my heart, and all those wounds and all those hurts. And I was so grateful. And I learned it the first time in my life. I learned that I could be free. I could be separated. God was teaching me how to be holy, and I never had that in my life. And so the more I came, the better it was. It's just like everything I do now, I'm so grateful for everything God has delivered me from. And now, even all those situations and all those hurts in the past with my dad, God's allowed me to repent to Him and forgive him. And I love my dad with my whole heart now. And I mean, it's so good now. And I love everybody. And now that I've learned, what knowing Jesus really is, the love of God's in my heart for every person. And I want to help everybody. And even you talked about the prison ministry. My life really began to change when I started helping Douglas and DeWitt in the prison ministry. And I could see the hurt in those men's life because I had that hurt and all those wounds and all those things that happened to them. And so I could have compassion and I could have love for them. And so out of that place, God started changing my heart. And I started coming to know Jesus truly for myself, for the first time when I started in the prison ministry. And I'm so grateful for what God's done for us and how He's brought us this far. And it's just like, the example in the Bible in Acts 16 where Paul was in prison and he was with the Philippian jailer and they cried out with their whole heart, and the great earthquake come and the prison shook and the doors opened, and the prison jailer, he was so terrified for his life, and he cried out, and Paul told him how to repent and how to have a change of heart, and he had a change of heart. And sometimes it takes dramatic things in our life to help us have a change of heart. And so I've had some pretty dramatic things in my life, and I wouldn't trade anything for it. So I'm very grateful for all of those things that God's brought me through and bringing me to this day to the Word of Faith. I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I mean, God has so blessed us. God has so helped us. I mean, my daughter's in the 10th grade now, and she's doing very well, and she's learning to play the piano. She's learning so fast, and they're learning so well. And my wife is such a blessing to me, and she helps me all the time. And so I'm just so grateful, Mark, for what God's doing for us and how He's helping us. And just to be, a quick testimony real quick, how I've learned to hear the voice of God is, I remember weeks ago, Jim, we was at a job, and I was working very hard, and I knew time was getting short, and I needed to come home. But God said, you don't need to go home. There's a man across town. You need to go see him right now. And so I told the contractor, I said, I'm going across town to see Ronnie. I said, I feel like I need to be there. I don't know why. I just need to go see him. And so when I get there, Mark, I pull up. The ambulance is just leaving his house. And what I found out, that my friend, he just fell off the roof on a ladder and broke his leg, broke his hip, was very seriously injured. And his mother was there all by herself, just totally tormented. And God had me go there and take hold of his mother and help her get her stuff together and go with them to the hospital to make sure everything was all right. But see, learning Jesus in those situations, God told you to go there so you could help that person because they were so tormented and they had nobody. And so I know now the voice of God is very important in everything we do. Jesus is trying to teach us in everything we do. And our heart has to be so open, and we have to give our whole heart to Him to learn those things. And once you learn those things, there's no going backwards. And that's why, I don't understand, all these people have left and are attacking our church. I mean, you look where I've came from, how God's taught me. And one thing God showed me about all these people who are attacked, you don't have the love of God in your heart, and you're not born again. You don't know Jesus. But when you know Jesus, all you have is the love of God, and you want to help everybody. And to me, that's the most important thing in my life, is helping everybody. Can you help everybody? No, not only if Jesus tells you to. And that's my prayer today for everybody listening and everybody that's wanting to do the right thing. Just trust Jesus, give your whole heart to Him, and He'll help you. He'll change your heart. He'll change your life.
And thank you so much, Bobby. You just heard just a powerful testimony from Bobby Carter. It's amazing to see what God did in his life and how God had his hand on Bobby's life through all of these trials he went through with his parents having their marital problems, and then he finds out his dad had two wives. Was that at the same time? Did you find out? And then he finds out that he has all these three half siblings, and there's some devastation there, but at the same time, there was really a cry in Bobby's heart to know God, and God had His hand on him. And you can hear his testimony how at some point in his life he realized that it's all about knowing Jesus personally. He went to Bible school for 3 years, and he learned everything about a book, but he didn't learn about the one who wrote the book and didn't know Him personally until at some point in his life, Jesus really came into his heart. Right. And he met Jesus. And you just heard just a little example, a wonderful example of how, he's at work and he hears the voice of God telling him to go to see this friend. And Bobby's shared with me so many stories. Every single day I can tell you, he lives like that. He has these amazing stories where God will be just having him all of a sudden leave and go here, and Jesus speaks to him. Jesus is real to him. And the wonderful thing about it is Jesus wants to have that relationship with all of us. He wants to speak to us. He wants to speak to you as you're listening today. He wants to speak to you through your entire day today. He has a wonderful plan for you today, and He wants to tell you today every single thing that He has for you, and He wants to lead and guide you. So we really are excited. We're excited here at the Word of Faith Fellowship because we're learning to know Jesus Christ personally, and that's really what matters. And we know that, when you read in Acts, Jesus talked about that before he ascended. He said, I'm going away, but I'm going to send the Holy Spirit. He told his disciples, he said, wait here because the Holy Spirit's coming. And then we see in Acts chapter 2, Jesus sent the Holy Spirit, and it says when they were gathered together on the day of Pentecost, the Holy Spirit actually fell. He fell in the room, and they were all filled with the Holy Spirit. And what we see then from those disciples who walked with Jesus every day was a total transformation in their life. Why? Because they really came to know Jesus and became born again at that time, and the Holy Spirit came inside of them. And that's what Jesus has for all of us. So we encourage all you listeners today to come to know Jesus. Thank you again for tuning into Word of Faith Response. Please go to our website at wordoffaithfellowship.org to hear all of our radio programs in the past. We hope that you have a wonderful day today.
He stuck out to me. He said about whether or not the president would actually go through on these tariffs, quote, what he has said, he has said. If he says something different, it will be something different.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrives at the White House in just a few hours. He and President Trump will hold meetings behind closed doors. A developing story overseas, the U.S. Embassy in Turkey closed today due to a security threat. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
4 Iraqis have been detained in Turkey on suspicion of preparing an attack on the U.S. Embassy in Ankara. Turkish anti-terror authorities accuse the Iraqis of being part of the Islamic State. The U.S. Embassy closed because of an unspecified security threat, and a statement on the embassy's website urged U.S. citizens in Turkey to keep a low profile. The governor's office in Ankara said it had taken extra security measures after the U.S. provided intelligence about a possible attack.
Hundreds of thousands of people still without power today. Crews working to repair downed power lines following the weekend's deadly storm. At least 9 people have died. ABC's Kenneth Moten is in Virginia.
Piles of snow are blanketing the west, causing accidents and dangerous driving conditions in Salt Lake City. The storm now set to take aim at the Midwest and Northeast, where people are still trying to restore electricity. From Virginia to Massachusetts, destruction and down power lines. Overnight, more than 500,000 people still in the dark.
At the Oscars.